Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. In this photo that you sent, it's called Keeping Busy and Mentally Healthy in COVID Times. Okay, you're in this incredible space that if you haven't seen it before, it's quite, it's a bit surreal. It's a kind of luxury hotel / art space. I mean, I'm sure it is K-12, right?
K11 Musea.
Okay, sure. K11 Musea.
I know that there are a few, but it's the one by the water. The building with all of the green plants down the side of it.
Right.
And there's a really beautiful building.
It's amazing.
On the TST side. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
It really is. I'm not the sort of person that goes to malls to spend time because crowds can sometimes make me feel a little bit agitated.
Same, yeah.
So sometimes shopping malls in Hong Kong can be bad spaces for me. But this one is just something else.
Yeah, it's quite intense. I mean, I think one of the criticisms against it is that it's beautiful, it's luxurious, it's all these amazing things, and it's so crafted.
Mm.
So it's like visually just unbelievable. So in the photograph, you are standing, I guess on the downstairs on the nice tiles, gray tiles. Next to you is a man with a gigantic.
Yeah.
That's the biggest accordion I've ever seen. It's a humongous accordion. Either that or the guy is tiny. I mean, like it's so big. And he's mid playing, and you're standing next to him. I was gonna say that you guys are in your fine dress attire.
That's it. We had to dress smartly for this gig.
Sure. And so you're playing downstairs, just to the public.
Yeah, anyone who is happens to be wandering around the mall.
COVID times.
Yeah. You can tell by the masks that in order for us to be able to perform here, we have to be masked at all times.
Right.
So, which means no oboe for me, which is a shame, but I do like playing the violin.
Okay.
So,
are you drifting away from the violin?
No, I wouldn't say drifting away. No, to be honest, I kind of drifted away from the oboe.
Oh.
The oboe was my inseparable instrument. That's why I included the last photo.
Okay.
Of me with my oboe.
Oh, a bit of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I definitely drifted away from the oboe, which shocked me a lot, and I'm trying to drift back towards the oboe.
Okay. How long, when you have these gigs, how long were you playing for?
So this one is a bit different from your average gig. We would play for 15 minutes and then take a break.
Okay.
Play for another 15 minutes. Take a break. Another 15 minutes, take a break, another 15 minutes. So 2 hours, but
wow.
15 minutes of playing, 15 minutes break.
Always in the same spot or moving around?
The first time I got asked to do this, we stayed in the same spot. The second time we were actually walking around, we were going outside as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was actually a lot of fun because I love the gigs where people aren't always, sitting down listening. It's nice to get a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the gigs where people are sat listening to you, and it's also sometimes nice to just do the gigs where you can just play and not worry so much.
Uh-huh.
And that was one of them. And the piano accordion player that I'm playing with, his name is Nazar. He's a very talented classical piano accordion player. We met Free Space Jazz Fest in November last year, 2020, and I got chatting to him. I was showing him some of the folk music that I do, and he was really interested to learn some British folk music. So we've been working on tunes since then, and it's going well. Yeah, the music sounds good, I think. So he's the one that got me the gigs.
Okay.
And it's been really good for me just being able to play out, even if it's in a mask.
Sure.
The masks, I know that sounds bad. I understand exactly why we have to wear the masks. But when you're playing the violin, every now and again, because the violin's on your shoulder, it will push the mask up and then you get poked
right in the eye.
So it's been a whole other learning curve, learning how to play the violin while wearing a mask.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's kept me sane.
Yeah.
The music has kept me sane.
Sure. Okay.
And with all the closures of obviously I understand why countries around the world are doing this. It's not a criticism, but it has been hard not getting the gigs in, and I'm sure every musician around the world,
performers are like, I need an audience.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's really amazed me how so many musicians have really just worked out things, like maybe they've done a lot of recording,
online courses, like shows or whatever,
on all the online stuff. Exactly. I did do a couple of live streams, which was good, so that got me into doing some gigs that way. But I am not very technologically capable.
Even the word is kind of like
I struggle to say the word. Yeah, exactly.
No, okay.
I joke that I am sort of stuck in the 15th century.
Okay.
I've just about figured out how to use my smartphone.
Okay.
So for me, I've been relying on other people
to
help me get the music in, because I just haven't.
Well, I can imagine. I don't think you have to whisper. You're in your own house. And you're not going to get in trouble. It's interesting to me that, through this podcast, I've gotten the excuse to reach out to strangers. And it's all about sharing how different people are either coping or making meaning, and really diving into like, well, why this and why that and how. And so for me, it's a treat. And it just reveals how different people's function. And so for example, like, we're on Lamma in this nice cozy apartment on this island outside of Hong Kong, which is nuts and full on. And in this small space, your small space is not a judgment, because Hong Kong, everything's small. So
yeah.
But and this could be a cue for you to drink some coffee. Anyways, I'll edit out all the crappy stuff. But especially gurgling.
Oh yeah, sorry. Definitely done that at one point.
But it's just fascinating to me to see how people make sense of the world. And right now, it's like with COVID, everything's kind of people who need an audience. What do you do? Yeah. And how do you create that opportunity?
I have been just trying to meet as many musicians as possible to just play, rehearse. The Canadian couple in Arbury, Alex and Sean, they have a wonderful rooftop on Lamma that they've been able to have rehearsals on.
Nice.
And just so we've been getting music in that way. And then I have just really, really taken to how to explain. I'm still not very good at talking about this, because
your English is very good. I have to say, you're very articulate. You're speaking very well. Is that what you mean?
No. So just before COVID hit, I'd made this promise to myself that I was going to go down the cosplay route finally.
Okay.
Because I've always liked dressing as different characters.
Yeah.
And I love changing how I look.
Okay.
And it's kind of an art form for me, and I love being able to include my music in this. Okay. So I guess my way of coping was combining the cosplay and the music, which was the medieval knight, I guess. Just having fun with the costumes and the music. Because you could argue that, I think that I would say that we were not bringing authentic medieval European music, but what we were doing was creating a medieval style, an atmosphere that could transport people to a slightly different place, and maybe going along some sort of, I don't know, Lord of the Rings line, like something a little bit like that, some kind of weird fusion of medieval European with fantasy, which actually ended up being quite good, I think, and we all had a lot of fun. And that's been my coping mechanism, just pushing myself to do the things I've always wanted to do that I've been too scared to do, because I've been worried that, because of the imposter syndrome thing we were talking about before, that it wasn't going to be good, it wasn't going to be good enough, people were going to find it strange or weird. But the wonderful thing particularly about Lamma, is people do just sort of throw themselves into things. Hong Kong in general. I have noticed that since moving here, I've come out of my shell a lot more.
So is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it raw.